Folks, it's Bob again at Mountain Crest Farms. Here to do another video that's a little bit different, sort of. It's still homesteading, even though it won't seem that way to start with. I'm starting a series, a playlist here on my YouTube channel on outdoor cooking. Outdoor cooking has a lot to do with homesteading. When you cook outdoors in the summer, you save on your power bill. Homesteading, being frugal. Because you don't heat up the house. If you've got air conditioning, you don't need to use it near as much. And if you live really off-grid, you don't want to heat up the house because you don't have any air conditioning. Not to mention the fact that outdoor cooking is actually less expensive ingredients to turn out some awesome food. And you know what else? It's fun. Outdoor cooking is fun. And today, I'm going to show a new tool. A tool, not a toy. That's what I told my wife anyway. A new tool we have here at Mountain Crest Farms for outdoor cooking, and being the first outdoor cooking video on the outdoor cooking playlist. So hang around and we'll talk about an Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker. See y'all on the other side of the intro. Okay, folks, let's talk about this smoker back here behind me. It's the Highland smoker. It's made by Oklahoma Joe, which is a charbroil company. And if you've been in Walmart, you've seen charbroil grills, which don't impress me, frankly. They're all made out of sheet metal. Looks like they're going to rust out in about 3 days. I saw this at Walmart. Yes, Walmart. I saw this at Walmart and took a look. I was kind of impressed. Let's talk about what Oklahoma Joe smokers are not first. An Oklahoma Joe smoker is not a Lang. It doesn't cost almost $2,000 as a starting price. It is not a Yoder, but it doesn't start at $900. Those are awesome smokers. They're made out of 1/4-inch steel. They're not going to rust out. Not anytime soon, anyway. They're just generally very well-built, American-made smokers. This isn't. The Oklahoma Joe started that way. 3 guys, I believe they were brothers in Oklahoma, started the company. Impressed Charbroil so much they wanted to buy them out. They bought them. And Charbroil did what they do with everything else. They ship manufacturing to China. So yes, this is a Chinese-made product, but it is not a charbroil grill. First thing that impressed me about this before I ever even got really into the box, I'd already made up my mind I was going to buy it, and if it was junk, it was going right back. That's what's nice about Walmart. Hang on to your receipts and take back the garbage. I got it home and I opened the box, opened the flaps on the top of the box, and the first thing you see is this right here. You open the flaps and you can do this. And guess what? That's not cheap sheet metal. It's not 1/4-inch steel. It's maybe 3/16 steel. But it's not cheap sheet metal. And if you take care of it, it's not going to become a rust bucket day after tomorrow, like the other charbroil stuff. Like I said, it's not a Lang and it's not a Yoder. But with a few tweaks, you can turn this into a really good smoker that will last you for a while. Let's take a look at some of the tweaks and see what you need to do so that you're inexpensive. Between $250, $275, if I remember. I think it was $269 and change, maybe $279 and change for this smoker. And you spend about another $50 or $75 on some accessories that you need, some of which you would need on any smoker, some of which you wouldn't. Let's go over those and let's see just what it is that you need to do to make an Oklahoma Joe perform like a champ. Okay, now this may be or may not be something you have to do even with expensive smokers. I don't know if they come with them or not, but this charcoal basket doesn't come with the Oklahoma Joe. That right there is how it comes. It's got a grate in the bottom and you put your coals on it. If you want to grill out, not smoke, but grill out, you can do it over here. Doing this one-handed. Why do you want a firebox? Why do you want a charcoal box like that? Because one of the first things that will make your Oklahoma Joe or any other grill, smoker, anything burn out and rust is your coals up against this on the inside. Those coals will make it rust out really fast. This box right here, this charcoal basket, keeps your coals in here. A few will drop through, but not that much. And those coals keeping off of the firebox will keep it from rusting out. Now, that can be bought. You can buy one of those baskets. They're about $70. I went down to my local welding shop, paid $12 for a piece of metal that was big enough to make two of them. So I've got that one and enough metal for another one for $12, and it takes about an hour to make one. The second one won't take as long. Okay, that's the first modification you need to do to any smoker you get. Second modification. See this right here? This insulation? That's not on there when you buy the Oklahoma Joe. It's bare metal. This metal closes up against this metal. Now, and it does it over here too. On that door. Does it over here. Why should you put this on? Because when you start a fire and you're building smoke and heat, you don't want leaks. And metal to metal, when you put that down, you'll leak smoke and heat around here. And you'll leak smoke and heat around here. I'll tell you about that here in just a minute. And heat around here. So you should put insulation on there. Keeps the smoke and heat in. Now, I have seen there are some videos on YouTube where in addition to the insulation, there's little clamps so that when you close this, the clamps come over tight and push it down tight. I've used this several times since I put the insulation on it. Yes, it still leaks smoke and heat a little bit, but really, it's not that much. It's not enough that I think it's a big deal. Now, let's talk about this right here. This is a product from Lava Lock, sold on Amazon. There'll be a link below. This is the insulation product. I've seen some complaints that this stuff doesn't stick when you put it on. Stays a couple days and that's it, and it's gone. It's not true. This stuff sticks really good, and this right here is the proof. It stuck to my lid a little bit, which pulled it up right here. If you look right here, you can see it's still stuck here. It's come apart. The glue is still stuck here. When it doesn't stick, it's just pulled it apart. When it doesn't stick, it's because it's not. These are made, let me back up. These are made, they're painted, some assembly's done, and they're shipped. When you put this on and it comes off, and all of it comes off, look at the back side. There'll be paint on it. I'm going to have to replace this. Not because of this, but because I didn't take a wire brush before I put this on and get the paint off, where the Lava Lock insulation would be sticking to the metal. It's not going to come loose from the metal. Instead, it is stuck to the paint where the factory painted here. When that pulls off, if you look at the back, you're going to find your paint. It's stuck to the paint. The problem is the paint did not stick to the smoker. So don't blame that. Don't blame this stuff not sticking on this stuff. Blame the grill. The paint didn't stick. Okay, that covers the charcoal basket. That covers the insulation. The other modification I did. These wires right here. These two probes and these two wires are for internal temperature. Because I'm going to tell you right now, on any grill you buy, those things are junk. The Oklahoma Joe only comes with one. The one that came with mine was 50 degrees off. They replaced it, so I stuck the other one in because there was a hole there. There was a place for it, and I wanted it to look nice. Don't go by those on anything. They're totally worthless. A bimetal thermometer is way out of date. Electronics is in. They're real inaccurate. And look, it's measuring the heat way up here. Your meat's way down here. Your meat's way down here, but it's measuring the heat way up here. So when it tells you what the temperature is here, you don't have a clue what the temperature is down here at the stack of ribs. That's where these come in. These two temperature probes give you the temperature inside down at meat level. These two probes right here get stuck into what you're cooking, and they give you the internal temperature of what you're cooking. Out here, to these wires, I've got two of these. The meat gets plugged into one side, the ambient temperature in there gets plugged into the other, and this is a transmitter. It transmits up to 300 feet. So you can be inside, and this will be reading the temperature and sending it to this. So you'll be sitting inside in the air conditioning while it's 100 degrees out here, and you'll know what your temperatures are. Now, if you're going to run these wires, you've got to either run them through the door, and the door will close on them. And I don't worry about that costing me a lot of smoke and a lot of heat. It's not going to. These are braided, flat, stainless steel wires. They're not going to make you lose that much smoke, that much heat. What they will do is hurt these eventually. The door opening and closing on them, it's going to hurt these. So that's when you get one of these. It's a Weber product made to replace on a Weber kettle, but it will work on this. It's a grommet that has slits in it that you can run your wires through. That way the door is not opening and closing on them. That way you're not losing heat and smoke through a big hole. It holds the heat and smoke in, and it keeps the door from ruining your wires. The only other accessory, and I really haven't decided if I'm going to do it yet. If you look around on the internet and on YouTube, you'll see that people say you need something called a tuning plate for this kind of offset smoker. See, the heat's built in and smoke is built in here. It travels through a hole that's down there that you can't see, and immediately starts rising. Over here is the exhaust, so it flows along and goes out. Because it starts rising right here, the complaint is that most of the heat's here, and it's cool down here, and you have uneven temperature. If you've got, say, a rack of ribs here, and you put on a pork butt for some pulled pork, you got to always be sure to put the thick stuff here and the thin stuff here, because this is going to cook too fast because it's cooler over here and it's hotter over here. So far, I haven't found that to be true. If I do need a tuning plate, just like that basket, I'm not buying one. They're between $80 and $100. A couple of them are over $100. You can build one. It's a flat piece of metal that goes below this grate, down there close to, I don't know if you can see the grate where the charcoal is supposed to sit. Sits just above that, comes down here, and angles up to the hole where the heat comes through, and has holes in it. Small down here, bigger ones down here as you go along. Small holes. I got to remember to follow my finger. Small holes to bigger holes. A little bit of heat coming through. more coming through after it's cooled off, and it's supposed to keep everything even. I don't believe that's going to be necessary. So far, it hasn't been. If it turns out it is, I'll do another video about tuning plates. But for right now, that's the only accessories you need for this. You need this, whether you have an Oklahoma Joe, a Lang, a Yoder. You need to know the temperature inside your smoker at meat level, and you need to know the internal temperature of your meat. So that's not an accessory for the grill. That's just something you need. You're going to use charcoal to get the wood started, which I am. You need one of those. Everybody that has a grill knows what that is. A chimney to start your charcoal. Because even though you're smoking with wood, I put a layer of charcoal in the bottom of that that's already been heated up in that chimney and put the wood on top. I start the charcoal starts the wood. Well, that's about it on the Oklahoma Joe. I like it. If you want a smoker, if you want a grill and a smoker, you can use it just for a big grill. All you got to do is put coals down there on the bottom. Isn't that great? I think it's a good deal. I think it fits with a frugal lifestyle. And I think it's a great tool to use for outdoor cooking. And there'll be more videos on outdoor cooking. What makes it the right thing to do for homesteading? And what makes it the right thing to do for your tummy? So glad y'all came. Down there at the bottom, hit a like if you like the video. Right beside it, there's a little bell. No, there's a subscribe button down there too. Subscribe if you hadn't subscribed. When you subscribe, a little bell appears. Click that and you'll get notifications when I do a new video. So y'all have a good day, and be sure and come back for the next video. And always remember, he is alive. The tomb was empty. Have a great day.